Hello, Internet. It's time to read the Bible. Same night, I took a couple of hours break to watch some anime. Let's see. We will read May 24th's reading. Starting with 2 Samuel chapter 4, verse 1 to chapter 6, verse 23. As for voices, I haven't done the Ugandan. Is that the accent? Do you know the way? Or why are you running? That particular voice. I don't know exactly what region of Africa it's from. I think it's like Uganda. Because of a meme. I'm the memes I mentioned are one of them is referred to as Ugandan knuckles, so I just assume it's that general region. But anyway, we'll try that accent because I can't think anything else at the moment. I know I've done it before, but it's been a while. Hopefully you haven't grown bored of it. Anyway, when King Ishbosheth heard about Abner's death at Hebron, he was paralyzed with fear, and his people too were badly frightened. The command of the Israeli troops then fell to two brothers, Baanah and Rechab, who were captains of King Ishbosheth's raiding bands. They were the sons of Rimmon, who was from Beeroth in Benjamin. People from Beeroth are counted as Benjaminites, even though they fled to Gittyan, where they now live. There was a little lame grandson of King Saul's, named Mephibosheth. Oh, Mephibosheth, I remember this. I remember this story. It's good. Let us continue. Anyway, Mephibosheth, who was the son of Prince Jonathan. He was 5 years old at the time Saul and Jonathan were killed at the Battle of Jezreel. When the news of the outcome of the battle reached the capital, the child's nurse grabbed him and fled, but she fell and dropped him as she was running, and he became lame. Rechab and Baanah arrived at King Ishbosheth's home one noon as he was taking a nap. They walked into the kitchen as though to get a snack of wheat, but then sneaked into his bedroom and murdered him and cut off his head. That's not the good part. It's good for Mephibosheth, not for Ishbosheth. Anyway, taking his head with them, they fled across the desert that night and escaped. They presented the head to David at Hebron. Look, they exclaimed, here is the head of Ishbosheth, the son of your enemy Saul, who tried to kill you. Today the Lord has given you revenge upon Saul and upon his entire family. David replied, I swear by the Lord who saved me from my enemies, that when someone told me, Saul is dead, thinking he was bringing me good news, I killed him. That is how I rewarded him for his glad tidings. And how much more I shall do to wicked men who kill a good man in his own house and on his bed. Shall I not demand your lives? So David ordered his young men to kill them, and they did. They cut off their hands and feet and hanged their bodies beside the pool at Hebron, and they took Ishbosheth's head and buried it in Abner's tomb in Hebron. Representatives of all the tribes of Israel now came to David at Hebron and gave him their pledge of loyalty. We are your blood brothers, they said, and even when Saul was our king, you were our real leader. The Lord has said that you should be the shepherd and leader of his people. So David made a contract before the Lord with the leaders of Israel there at Hebron, and they crowned him king of Israel. He had already been king of Judah for 7 years, since the age of 30. He then ruled 33 years in Jerusalem as king of both Israel and Judah. So he reigned for 40 years altogether. David now led his troops to Jerusalem to fight against the Jebusites who lived there. You'll never come in here, they told him. Even the blind and lame could keep you out. For they thought they were safe. But David and his troops defeated them and captured the stronghold of Zion, now called the City of David. When the insulting message from the defenders of the city reached David, he told his troops, go up to the water tunnel into the city and destroy those lame and blind Jebusites. How I hate them! This is the origin of the saying, even the blind and the lame could conquer you. So David made the stronghold of Zion, also called the city of David, his headquarters. Then, beginning at the old Milo section of the city, he built northward towards the present city Sitra. So David became greater and greater, for the Lord of God of heaven was with him. Then King Hiram of Tyre sent Sidaramba, carpenters and masons, to build a palace for David. David now realized why the Lord had made him the king and blessed his kingdom so greatly. It was because God wanted to pour out his kindness on Israel, his chosen people. After moving from Hebron to Jerusalem, David married additional wives and concubines and had many sons and daughters. These are his children who were born at Jerusalem: Shamuah, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Elipheplet. When the Philistines heard that David had been crowned king of Israel, they tried to capture him. But David was told that they were coming and went into the stronghold. The Philistines arrived and spread out across the valley of Rephaim. Then David asked the Lord, "Shall I go out and fight against them? Will you defeat them for me?" And the Lord replied, "Yes, go ahead, for I will give them to you." So David went out and fought with them at Baal Perazim and defeated them. "The Lord did it," he exclaimed. "He burst through my enemies like a raging flood." So he named the place Bursting. At that time, David and his troops confiscated many idols which had been abandoned by the Philistines. But the Philistines returned and again spread out across the valley of Rephaim. When David asked the Lord what to do, he replied, "Don't make a frontal attack. Go behind them and come out by the balsam trees. When you hear a sound like marching feet in the tops of the balsam trees, attack, for it will signify that the Lord has prepared the way for you and will destroy them." So David did as the Lord had instructed him and destroyed the Philistines all the way from Geba to Gezer. Then David mobilized 30,000 special troops and led them to Baal Judah to bring home the ark of the Lord of heaven, who is enthroned above the guardian angels. The ark was placed upon a new cart and taken from the hillside home of Abinadab. It was driven by Abinadab's sons, Uzzah and Ahio. Ahio was walking in front and was followed by David and the other leaders of Israel, who were joyously waving branches of juniper trees and playing every sort of musical instrument before the Lord: lyres, harps, tambourines, castanets, and cymbals. But when they arrived at the threshing floor of Nakon, the oxen stumbled, and Uzzah put out his hand to steady the ark. The anger of the Lord flared out against Uzzah, and he killed him for doing this. So he died there beside the ark. David was angry at what the Lord had done and named the spot the place of wrath on Uzzah, which it is still called to this day. David was now afraid of the Lord and asked, "How can I ever bring the ark home?" So he decided against taking it to the city of David, but carried it instead to the home of Obed Edom, who had come from Gath. It remained there for 3 months, and the Lord blessed Obed Edom and all his household. When David heard this, he brought the ark to the city of David with a great celebration. After the men who were carrying it had gone 6 paces, they stopped and waited so that he could sacrifice an ox and a fat lamb. And David danced before the Lord with all his might and was wearing priest's clothing. So Israel brought the ark of the Lord with much shouting and blowing of trumpets. But as the procession came into the city, Michal, Saul's daughter, watched from a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she was filled with contempt for him. Oh, right, this is what happened. This is why Michal is not thought of as highly as I remember. I remember there was a falling out, but I did not remember why. This makes more sense. Oops. Yeah. A shame. Wives, do not begrudge your husbands for having fun and rejoicing, especially before the Lord. That may not be the lesson, but that is the lesson that I am getting from it. So, anyway, the ark was placed inside the tent which David had prepared for it, and he sacrificed burnt offerings and peace offerings to the Lord. Then he blessed the people in the name of the Lord of heaven, and gave a present to everyone, men and women alike, of a loaf of bread, some wine, and a cake of raisins. When it was all over and everyone had gone home, David returned to bless his family. But Michal came out to meet him and exclaimed in disgust, "How glorious the king of Israel looked today! He exposed himself to the girls along the street like a common pervert." David retorted, "I was dancing before the Lord who chose me above your father and his family, who appointed me as leader of Israel, the people of the Lord. So I am willing to act like a fool in order to show my joy in the Lord. Yes, I am willing to look even more foolish than this, but I will be respected by the girls of whom you spoke." So Michal was childless throughout her life. You were too salty up in there. Anyway, we go on to John chapter 13, verse 31 to chapter 14, verse 14. As soon as Judas left the room, Jesus said, "My time has come. The glory of God will soon surround me, and God shall receive great praise because of all that happens to me. And God shall give me his own glory, and this so very soon. Dear, dear children, how brief are these moments before I must go away and leave you. Then, though you search for me, I cannot come to me, just as I told the Jewish leaders. And so I am giving a new commandment to you now. Love each other just as much as I love you. Your strong love for each other will prove to the world that you are my disciples." Simon Peter said, "Master, where are you going? Where are you going?" Sorry, the meme intruded upon the reading. I apologize. "Where are you going?" And Jesus replied, "You can't go with me now, but you will follow me later." "But why can't I come now?" he asked. "For I am ready to die for you." Jesus answered, "Die for me? No. 3 times before the cock crows tomorrow, you will deny that you even know me. Let not your heart be troubled. You are trusting God. Now trust in me. There are many homes up there where my Father lives, and I am going to prepare them for your coming. When everything is ready, then I will come and get you so that you can always be with me where I am. If this weren't so, I would tell you plainly, and you know where I am going and how to get there." "No, we don't," Thomas said. "We haven't any idea where you are going, and how can we know the way?" I swear, I did not know both memes were in this passage. Do you know the way? How do you know the way? uh, how can we know the way? And Jesus told him, "I am the way, yes, and the truth and the life. No one can get to the Father except by means of me. If you had known who I am, then you would have known who my Father is. From now on you know him and have seen him." Philip said, "Sir, show us the Father, and we will be satisfied." Jesus replied, "Don't you even yet know who I am, Philip? Even after all this time I have been with you. Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. So why are you asking to see him? Don't you believe that I am the Father and the Father is in me? The words I say are not my own, but are from my Father who lives in me, and he does his work through me. Just believe it, that I am in the Father and the Father is in me, or else believe it because of the mighty miracles you have seen me do. In solemn truth, I tell you, anyone believing in me shall do the same miracles I have done, and even greater ones, because I am going to be with the Father. You can ask him for anything using my name, and I will do it. For this will bring praise to the Father because of what I, the Son, will do for you. Yes, ask anything using my name, and I will do it. Remember that. That is not speaking, he does not lie. He is not just speaking to the disciples here. I believe he is speaking to us. Anything that we ask in his name, he will do. Maybe not as soon as we would like, but I believe truthfully that all prayers are answered. And any request in his name, you know, by a true Christ, by a true follower, will be answered. Anyway, let us move on to Psalms chapter 119, verses 17 to 35. Bless me with life so that I can continue to obey you. Open my eyes to see the wonderful things in your word. I am but a pilgrim here on earth. How I need a map, and your commands are my chart and guide. I long for your instructions more than I can tell you. Ain't it the truth? You rebuke those cursed proud ones who refuse your commands. Don't let them scorn me for obeying you, for even princes sit and talk against me. But I will continue in your plans. Your laws are both my light and my counselors. I am completely discouraged. I lie in the dust. Revive me by your word. I told you my plans and you replied, now give me your instructions. Make me understand what you want, for then I shall see your miracles. I weep with grief. My heart is heavy with sorrow. Encourage and cheer me with your words. Keep me far from every wrong. Help me, undeserving as I am, to obey your laws, for I have chosen to do right. I cling to your commands and follow them as closely as I can. Lord, don't let me make a mess of things. If you will only help me to want your will, then I will follow your laws even more closely. Just tell me what to do, and I will do it. Lord, as long as I live, I'll wholeheartedly obey. Make me walk along the right paths, for I know how delightful they really are. And finally, for today, we do Proverbs chapter 15, verses 31 and 32. If you profit from constructive criticism, you will be elected to the Wise Men's Hall of Fame. But to reject criticism is to harm yourself and your own best interests. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I was very amused that both the memes came direct quotes from this particular translation. If you don't know the memes, it's maybe not as funny, but still, it was good for me. And I hope it was good for you. And not just through comedy. I hope you also were edified in some way by these passages. And most importantly, as always, God bless.